So, have you ever looked at a really successful business and wondered what's their secret? It's not just about a cool product or service, it's about the plan behind it. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on that strategic blueprint. We're going to look at the frameworks, the financials, everything that turns a good idea into a great company. Let's jump in. I mean, think about a giant like Netflix. How did they completely change how we watch movies and TV? Was it just luck? No way. It was a clear, deliberate, and sometimes ruthless plan. It was their strategy. And that's what we're going to break down today, the kind of thinking that builds empires. All right, so what are we even talking about when we say strategy? Well, the master himself, Michael Porter, nailed it. It's not just what you do, it's the unique way you do it. It's your secret sauce. It's that one thing that makes people pick you every single time over all the other options. This idea is our North Star for today. Every great strategy follows a map, and honestly, this is it. It's a simple 4-step journey. First, you got to figure out exactly where you're standing with strategic analysis. Then, you pick a destination. That's your strategic choice. Next, you map out the actual roads to get there, which is implementation. And finally, you keep checking the GPS to make sure you're still on course. That's review and control. Simple, right? So let's start with that first big step, strategic analysis. You can't plan a trip without knowing the weather and the terrain, right? It's the exact same in business. You have to get a super clear picture of the world outside your doors and what's happening deep inside your own company. Now, for looking outward, we've got this awesome tool called Pestel. Think of it like a weather radar for your business. It helps you scan all those big external forces, the political storms, economic shifts, social trends, all the stuff you can't control, but that will definitely impact your journey. And this is where it gets really interesting. Let's make it real. Take a local petrol station in Joburg. A political conflict thousands of miles away messes with their prices. A huge technological shift like electric cars threatens their entire business model. Even social trends, like people caring more about their carbon footprint, create pressure. Pestel shows you how these massive, global waves can crash right on your doorstep. Okay, let's bring it right into the exam room for a second. This is a classic question. You see this? You should immediately think SWOT analysis. And it's the perfect tool to use right after Pestel. Why? Because it takes that outside view and smashes it together with an internal one. The SWOT framework is just beautiful because it's so simple and so powerful. You take the opportunities and threats you found out there in the world with Pestel, and you combine them with a really honest look in the mirror at your own company's strengths and your weaknesses. It gives you that complete 360-degree view of the battlefield. So let's apply this to the Sage case. What story does this SWOT tell? Well, they have a huge strength. These new wind farms could be incredibly profitable. But look at the weaknesses. They're having major cash flow problems. They're drowning in loans. And worst of all, there's no plan to fix it. This is so important. A brilliant strength can be made totally useless if your internal weaknesses are crippling you. Okay, so once you've done all that analysis, you've got all the pieces of the puzzle. Now it's time for the fun part. It's time to be an architect and actually design a business model that can win in the real world. And this right here is the architect's favorite tool. It's the business model canvas. Seriously, this thing is incredible. It lets you sketch out your entire business, every single moving part, on just one page. You can see how everything connects, how you create value, and how you make money. It's your whole strategy in one picture. Let's use Chios, a vegan restaurant, as an example. Their value proposition is crystal clear. Amazing vegan food. For who? A very specific customer segment that wants vegan options. And check out their key resources, patented recipes. That's their differentiator, their unique strength, just like Porter was talking about. You see how the canvas makes all those connections visible? But here's where we need to update our thinking a little bit. For decades, when businesses talked about value, they just meant one thing: profit, cash. That's not the whole story anymore. The smartest, most successful companies today know that value is much, much bigger than that. And that brings us to this idea of the 6 capitals. It's a totally modern way to see a company's real worth. It says, yeah, financial capital, money, is important. But so is your equipment and buildings, your manufactured capital, and your brilliant ideas and patents, your intellectual capital, and the skills of your team, your human capital, not to mention your reputation and customer loyalty, your social capital, and of course the planet's resources you use, natural capital. Let's look at Chios again through this lens. It's brilliant.
Sure, they've got the R10 million in financial capital, but their real competitive edge might be in their intellectual capital, those secret recipes, or their fantastic customer reviews, which is social capital. Even their choice to use solar panels builds their natural capital. It's a complete, holistic picture of what makes a business truly valuable.
Okay, so we've got our big picture frameworks and our models, but a strategy is just a theory until you test it with cold, hard numbers. So now we need to shift gears from the blueprint to the calculator and make some tactical decisions. All right, check out this scenario with Adscape. They get a shot at a massive printing contract. They have to win it. So what's the absolute lowest price they can quote without losing money? This is where a strategic accountant shines, and the tool they use is called relevant costing. And here is the killer move. The first quote includes the $500,000 for paper they already bought and paid for. That's a sunk cost. The money is gone. It shouldn't influence a future decision. The strategic quote ignores that sunk cost, but it very cleverly includes an opportunity cost, the money they're losing by not renting out their printer. By focusing only on what's truly relevant to this decision, they can submit a way more competitive quote and win the business. It's genius. Now, here's a wild question for you. Could the accounting system you choose actually make one branch of your company look more profitable than another, even if they performed exactly the same? It sounds crazy, but the answer is a definite yes. Let me show you how this trick works. Both branches sell 80,000 jerseys, same performance, but the Gauteng branch uses something called absorption costing. This system lets them hide some of the factory's fixed costs in the inventory of unsold jerseys. So what happens? Gauteng's reported profit looks higher. And this is dangerous, because now the manager in Gauteng might be tempted to just keep producing more and more stuff they can't sell just to make his bonus look good. The system itself can create really bad behavior. All right, one last number to run. It's a quick, simple health check for any business. It answers a crucial question. Can you pay your bills this month? We're talking about liquidity. So let's circle back to Adscape and do a quick checkup. Adscape's current ratio comes out to 1.38 to 1. So what does that mean in plain English? It means for every single rand they owe in the short term, they have about 1.38 in assets ready to cover it. It's a fast, powerful snapshot that tells you, yeah, they're in a pretty healthy spot. They can pay their bills. So there you have it. From the huge 30,000-foot view of Pestel all the way down to the nitty-gritty of a current ratio. These frameworks, these numbers, they're not just for passing an exam. They are the actual tools you're going to use out there to build companies, to steer them through trouble, and to win. They're your blueprint. So the real question is, which tool are you going to use first?